Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that made this game and are making others, you can go to their Patreon. There's $3 a month for early access. So, and last Let's Play, the monster knocked us into the lake. We got up to the surface. Most of us all well enough, but then Dax was like, well, he was missing, but then he said, yeah, the reason I didn't come up to the surface was because I was trying to help you, but every time I got closer, you're just floating away and not facing me and stuff like that, which is like, okay, more Echo weirdness. But then we also found out this is the site where Sydney died. There's the tree and the boulder and all that stuff. So, the rest of the game was like, we're gonna go to Leo's house, and we were gonna do that, but then we saw we're at the site, so we stayed here for a hot second, and then now it's just me, Dax, or Flynn, Dax, and Co-op. So reset face. And begin. Hair gone? I spy the ass prints of Carl and Dax in the sand next to me, but they're nowhere in sight. I quickly rise to my feet, hesitant to call out to them, noting what happened earlier. I move up to the top of the hill next to us, stepping through the dry grass. As I look around, I see no movement beyond the rolling tide of the waves, illuminated only by the slight moonlight. Fuck! My whole plan of waiting here for something to happen seemed a lot better when I had others around. Now that I'm alone, unarmed, my gall is starting to fucking wane. Can I say that right now? Yeah. They must have went to Leo's house. I mean, surely they'd fucking wake me first, right? Did I even pass out? I felt more like I just blinked and then, bam, gone. For a moment, it feels like something's tugging the back of my shirt. I turn, expecting to see the bulbous face of Carl at my side, but there's no one there. Hey, assholes, where are you? I let out a harsh whisper, directed at the desert shrub around me. Again, no response. I sigh, rubbing my palms over my face. There's no choice. Gotta get to Leo's. My gaze drifts back to the beach and the bullet-ridden pinyon tree. I'm struck with a strange sense of solace, as if the spot would be somehow tranquil to me if circumstances were different. For now, I take stock of what's still in my soggy pockets. Keys, phone, dead as hell, probably fried, and an old granola bar wrapper. With a grunt, I make my way off the beach and toward the rail tracks. I follow the familiar route, passing the occasional abandoned freight car. It's been about 15 minutes and so far, no sight or sound of the gang, or any other miscellaneous townfolk. I inadvertently find myself walking on top of the rails, bouncing like I'm a kid again. It kinda keeps the edge off, and softens the noise of my footsteps, though it ain't very time efficient. Also, I think I heard a gunshot. It feels like by now I should be able to see Leo's house, but so far, nothing. It isn't until the track's dead end, perpendicular to the highway, that I realize I'm being fucked with again. I stand at the edge of the pavement where the old bike lane has been overtaken by weeds, pavement, crumbling to gravel. I'd hoped that the spatially fucky shenanigans would end once we exited the van, but goddamn, why would it? You're going the right way. Oh yeah, it was like you have to find them or something. In the back of my skull tingles, and I cut my hands over the sides of my head. That wasn't my goddamn thought. To Leo's? I ask around, like a fucking loony I am. I wait. No response. I clench my fists to my sides. Fuck it. Fuck this. I take off in a run down the road, keeping the power lines on my right. I run mindlessly, knowing damn well the nature of this loop, but try not to think about it. I'm not usually the sort to do my running in echo on account of the centuries worth of broken glass that lines the side of the roads. That, and the fact that the sight of a 6'7" Guyla sprinting tends to naturally raise an alarm, even with folk who already know who I am. Somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour passes before I see something ahead. I stop somewhere along the center line of the winding old highway, the cracked asphalt feeling like it's chipping away at my already blistered heels. I stare at the faded red building. My truck is parked in the front of it for some reason. Why the fuck am I here? Right, why do you come here? The voice in my head is clearer than before, like some harsh whisper coming from inside the back of my neck and slinking its way into my head. It almost feels like I thought the words myself. Is that a fucking clue? It's a mystery. My thought was rhetorical, and hearing a response so aptly takes me off guard. I clutch my throbbing head with both hands. I've gone full fucking schizo. When the weird shit's on the outside, it's one thing, but on the inside, I grimace, having a grimace shake. Brace myself against the gate of the front in front of me. Gate? There's no gate in front of this place in real life. I take a closer look and see the entire place is fenced off, like some kind of high security complex. A tarnished rebar gate is the only entrance point. My truck is just on the other side. It's only about up to my chest in terms of height, though it's got security spikes about every foot along the top. A single key lock is all it keeps each side of the gate together. It doesn't look too sturdy. I eye the truck through the bars, and then check to make sure I still have keys in my pocket. Sure enough, I feel the familiar Lego Sangoro keychain between my fingers. I guess? Without even thinking, I take my keys, flipping through the old ones for City Hall. I grab the sides of the lock and push the key in the key, twisting. To my surprise, I keep turning my wrist without resistance and hear a soft click as the fastening point comes unlatched. I stare at the lock, feeling some sense of accomplishment. It soon falters as I note the lock being there in the first place doesn't make a lick of sense. What in the fucking fuck? Also, the tips of my fingers that were grabbing the lock appear to have been stained black. Paint of some kind. Someone must have painted the lock recently, though the fence itself still looks pretty faded. I wipe my hands off on the back of my pants and push open the gate. It only opens about 6 feet wide, nowhere near enough room to get my truck through. I feel like that would be enough. I guess not all trucks. Hashtag not all trucks. If I revved hard and gunned it, I could probably break through. Though I've got a feeling that this is not what I'm supposed to do. There's not really a fence in front of this place. This isn't fucking real, but I'm seeing it. So why am I seeing it? That's a fucking question, right? Duke's words from earlier come to mind. Thing is, we've all got something after us, something bad. Don't let you leave when it starts. What's after you? As if knowing would fucking help right now. If not, just being even more confusing in the long run. I half expect the voice from earlier to speak again, but it's silent. Just a dull throb in the back of my head. Now, I know that when it was the main character, it was supposedly Sam or something like that was talking to him, or the ghost Sam. But then, did it transfer to Flynn when he locked Chase in the closet? He didn't kill Chase, so why would it transfer? The smart thing to do, the logical thing, as Dax would put it, would be to sit down under a nice tree and just ride this out like a bad trip. Maybe get some sleep. That could fix it. like turning the computer off and on again. I peer up at the sky. The red lights from the building make it seem as though the sky itself was blood red, expanded to various pinkish hues to the horizon. Like fucking hell, I could get a wink during this shit. The pounding in the back of my skull just keeps thudding away, the constant beat that reverberates through my head like a cavern. I step up to the door with the engraved bit of signage next to it. Here for the seed? That, of course, ain't what it usually says. The cheeky-ass winking smiley face is still there, though. I let out a short sigh. You fucking idiot. I turn the handle and pull, but it doesn't budge. I push next, still nothing. The handle shouldn't turn if it's locked. I know, I've been here before when it was. I push once more, and I'm surprised when it gives, the door opening. I only leave it open a crack, still a bit worried about whatever weirdness lies within. The first thing I notice is the burning smell. It's stronger than it is outside. It's hot as hell too. If this place had a kitchen, I'd swear something being overcooked in it was being overcooked. At first it's quiet, nothing but the creaking wood beneath my feet. Then, music starts to play. I notice the boxy television set in the corner of the room is turned on, the grainy old cricket match on the screen. It's all very much the same as what I remember, except for Lone Otter sitting at the bar counter. He's holding something to his head, an ice pack, and he's nursing some shitty import pale ale, with his free paw. There's no one else here but him, at least in the front area. Hey, you. The otter's posture stiffens. Yeah, you. Are you real? What? He responds back, his tone exacerbated and groggy. Confusion. That's a good sign, I guess. I step a little closer, the otter using the bar counter to rotate himself in his swivel bar stool. He's decked out in skull t-shirt, cargo pants, and one of those lame scout caps that only jarhead leather daddies and theater kids wear. I think I know who this is, because I think I've seen a sprite. He seems dazed, squinting at me like I'm bright light. Someone tune up the orchestra in here? What? After a moment, something seems to click, and his eyes widen slightly, a long smile crossing his snouty muzzle. Motherfucker! He pushes himself to his feet, making his way through the bar's haze. Yep, that guy. What the hell wait, what are you doing here, you big-ass bitch? He claps my shoulder roughly, then pulls me into a tight hug. For an otter, he's a strong grip, and actually irk around as he pats my back. The fuck? What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? After a moment, he pulls away, raising a shadowed brow beneath his hat. It's when I notice his eyes, baby blue, almost gray. Not a common color for his kind of otter. There's some bags under them though, like he hasn't slept for some time. I was fixing to ask you the same thing. It's been dead all night, and I wasn't expecting company. It's kind of unreal seeing you here like this though. It's been... He huffs, astonished, and with a slight air of sheepishness. Well, a while. He folded his arms over his chest, the otter looking up at me from beneath the brim of his hat with a sort of wry expression. He seems happy to see me. And it's also familiar. Wait a second. I blink. Jesus fuck. Sid? He lets out an amused noise, nodding. Yeah. Wait. Don't you even try and tell me that you're here by coincidence. He's an adult? Fucking 6 feet tall, I'd reckon. Man, everybody's taller than me. He's in shape too, in a full-on muscle shirt. I look around, as if expecting to see Chase around, a corner with a video camera and shitting grin. There's still no one around but us, though. I'm sure there's a reason I'm here. He seems to perk up some, doing a one-handed finger gun gesture my way, while the other nurses an ice pack against his head. Knew it. I mean, I'm glad. Yeah. Did you get my Christmas package? I wasn't sure you'd like it. Saw him in the Macy's Maze thrift down in Elwyn. Haunted Hacienda, Deadly Love Rivals 2, Final Obsession, The Choir Boy, and Horror Sleuth, shitty B movies I got from the bargain bin. You know, the sort, not a lot of plots to get in the way of the film. Plus, I bundled them with this bunch of crossfire shooting mags. Oh yeah, I knew it I threw in some jerky I got from a trade show after after my match in Desert Springs. The jerky, it's super good. Had green chili flavored. You know, that's where they grow that shit, en masse, right? World capital. I can't help but stare, absolutely flabbergasted. This is what he'd look like. When I don't immediately respond, his smile dissipates some. Maybe you didn't get it. Fucking delivery guys, right? Probably some weasel or something with a good smeller. He honks his own black nose. Ping for jerky, or pine for my jerky. Am I fucking dreaming right now? Am I asleep, or just tripping? The otter, Sydney, he's looking at me more worriedly. You, wanna sit down or something? I look around at the still empty bar. Facade or not, my legs are killing me. Sure. He motions toward some old wood and velvet bar stools next to the raised table in the corner, and we take our seats. After Sydney grabs his drink, of course. Ooh, picture. Maybe we'll do this as the thumbnail? Boop. I don't know where the bartender went. Man, his arms look big. Like, I'm strong, but I don't understand how, like, when I look at my arms, it's like, yep, that is an arm, but I'm, like, fairly strong. But that guy just looks big. Like, arms twice the size of mine? I don't know. I guess maybe it's one of those things where you can't really see how big you are. He's usually in the back. I look toward the smoke room door. Nothing seems to have changed about it. He? Yeah, he. A big tiger fella. Only guy who works here, as far as I know. And let me guess, the, great-grandchild of, like, I don't know, the tiger guy from Nick's Route? He scrunches his brow, thinking for a moment. Unless he got a sex change, and species changed, to become a beach blonde bunny with big, bouncing tits, I don't think so. I grunt. What the hell is he talking about? He was into dressing up in chick panties. Or, I don't think we're talking about the same person. Or the same bar. Sid smirks, looking at me a little wide-eyed. Thinking of one of your gay bars, right? The fuck are you talking about? This is the gayest bar in the state. If this were real, there'd be 20 fucking dudes reaming each other behind that door as we speak, including the bartender. I point at the familiar no smoking label door, my tone more firm now. Including you? His comment has a derisive, teasing tone. After a second, he blinks, looking back over his shoulder to see what I'm pointing at. You been porking guys who got into clown school? That's a goddamn tiny... Wait, you're into porking guys who got into clown school? That's a goddamn tiny janitor's closet. It took me a second to get it. You know, because closet? Says so on the door. I squint at the door. For a brief, fleeting moment, I can almost quite make out the little mop and bucket symbol posted in the center. But it's simply not there. I honestly don't know why I came here tonight. I guess I just had a good feeling about it in my gut. And by that, I mean I saw a picture outside for their Chipotle dusted beer gut nuts, and my stomach got a boner. Ooh, ooh. And I guess it, I also worked at, but I guess it also worked out since I got to see you. He thrusts his arms towards me, trying to pull me into put on a cheeky, sarcastic grin, like he's trying to play off the statement, as he realizes how sappy it sounds. There, to my knowledge, has never been advertisements for spiced beer nuts posted outside the bar here. Jesus. I slowly lean back in my chair, letting out a long exhale. It's real good to see you too. More so than you probably know. He opens his muzzle to speak again, but I cut him off. Sid, where do you think we are? He takes a swig of his beer, peering at me for a long moment before examining his surroundings. It's a, you know. He stamps his fingers a few times. The beer nut place? He frowns, shifting his ice pack back to his noggin. Fuck, I'm not that sauced. I just hit my head real hard on the counter when I was bending over to pick up my phone. Shit, did we have plans to meet here? I generally don't fucking know. I sure as fuck didn't. I trail off for a moment, swallowing away the tiny feeling in the back of my throat. I pull my phone from my pocket, turning it over my hands, still dead. I wasn't expecting to ever see you again. His blue eyes widen, the otter giving me that same doe-eyed look he gave me after we'd been hanging out and I'd say I'd have to go. He never wanted to go home. Look, I know after I bailed on the interview you set me up with, you're pretty pissed. Rightfully so, too. Fully justified. I get that. I know. I fucked up. What? I'm trying to get clean. I swear to shit. It's just so fucking hard, you know? You're on drugs? No, I mean, not right now. I'm sober as fuck. I look to the ale in his paw. Sans the booze? Yeah. Look, all the other guys I wrestle with at the road shows, though, they're all on the shit. Everyone's trying to bulk up and stuff, so they actually get a pop when the crowd sees him. Oh, so he's like a wrestler or something? Which would explains why his arms look so big. His tone's completely defensive, the other looking me straight in the eyes, searching for any sign of doubt. There's this one guy, Cody Altaro, or he goes by the name Rico Renaissance now. He's been getting booked as my rival, and the bastard's up 25 pounds in 2 months. 25 fucking 5 pounds. No way the fuck he's doing that with chicken breast and protein shakes. Wait. You tell me you wrestle for a living? That would explain the muscle shirt and those tacky-ass wristbands. Like, that's your actual goddamn job? Sydney leans back some, still peering at me with the same searching look. Yeah? You used to go to my shows all the time. SFF? Saturday Fun Day Fights? It's mainly fucking juggalos, and shit show, and you get paid in pennies and grass, but, you know, it's a start. I'm tough. He shifts his eyes, drifting down to his arms on the sticky table surface. He doesn't seem grossed out by it. Ryan told me they never clean up in the front anymore. Said not to touch the underside of the tables, since they're packed solid with two things, gum and cum. I notice the patchy hairs in his fur near his inner elbows, and it takes me a moment to register. He's got fucking injection marks. I wonder, like, if I would ever have injection marks, because it's like, I don't do drugs, except for, I guess, alcohol, which is a drug, and coffee. But anyways, like, I've donated blood before, so it's like, it doesn't look like I have traction marks, but, you know, like, would I get traction marks? Like, would I go to, like, if I did it more often, would I have to, like, be like, dudes, I'm not on drugs. You can test me for that, and you could also go to the blood donation center and see that I donate blood a lot. Anyways, he seems to see me staring and pulls back his arms. I gawk at him for a moment. Sydney braces himself for whatever I'm about to say. It gives me a sinking feel in my gut, but it makes sense. With the shit Sid's dealt with growing up, every sign was pointing towards him getting some sort of chemical addiction down the road. It ain't just roids, is it? Yeah, well, you know me. I take some shit for, the metal stuff. Metal stuff? I'm assuming it ain't prescription. You assume correctly. He speaks slowly, twiddling his thumbs in his lap, his eyes dancing from the bottle in front of him to me and back again. I'm not sure what to say. We sort of just sit there in awkward silence. I know you never really understood all the fucky stuff going on in my head. I just want to thank you for sticking around as long as you did. Can't say the same for everyone else. I'm not really an easy person to have the back of, especially when I'm the person 1 minute and another the next. I remember the shit Chase was talking about earlier, about the instant at the ice cream place Pueblo. The way he just clicked and changed. He continues speaking, the otter shifting his thick tail listlessly behind him. And tell your roommate Dax thanks as well. I know you both really tried to get me a stable job at that print shop. But fuck. It would have never worked out. A schizo like me can't hold a position like that. Instead of Carl, Sydney's the one I would have been helping. I realize he's still out there, caught up in all this hysteria without me, while I'm stuck in this place. Sid, this isn't real. The otter gives me another strange look. He clearly was expecting me to be acting much differently than the way I am. Like, he's been preparing to speak to me for some time now, and I've completely derailed his plans to get a lot of shit he wants to say off his chest. You're not real. I'm just fucking dreaming right now. I thought you couldn't dream. You used to get annoyed as hell with me when I go off about the shit I dream about. Yeah, well, I am now. How do you even know what is a dream if you had one? After all, you look more like you just woke up. I shake my head, watching the blurry brown and black form in front of me shift from side to side. I keep expecting him to just not be there when my revision focuses. Look, let me just lay this shit down, out, plain like. You can't be here. You're dead. You drowned over a decade ago, like Emma. I think Chase did it. Or at least, I think he did. Wait. I think Chase did it, but at least I think he did. Sydney looks uncomfortable, as if this slight semblance that this is all some elaborate, fun ruse I'm pulling on him looking increasingly unlikely. Okay, well, that didn't happen. No nuts. And Chase? That twink couldn't hurt a fly. He sighs, rotating his half-empty bottle of pale on the table and smearing a ring of condensation that forms beneath it. I'm right fucking here, and I just want to talk to you. His tone turns hurts. Hurt even. No, shitbird, you died. TJ saw 2 bodies with brown fur right in the water before you drowned. They all thought you died on your own somehow, like you passed out or some shit, but I know better. I see a flicker of realization in Sydney's eyes, and again, he shifts uncomfortably. I think I remember what you were talking about. But I'm not dead. I'm here, motherfucker. Feel me. Ooh. He reaches across the table and takes my wrist, squeezing hard. It's like He's trying to give me an Indian burn, like he used to. I yank back my hand. Fuck off. He stares wide-eyed at me, his maw slightly agape. A moment passes before he speaks again. Why are you acting like this? Like, you can't fucking just enjoy goddamn company. Plus, you're so damn intense. Wait, plus you're so damn intense, question mark? Yeah. You're not even high right now. This isn't fucking fair. I'm your goddamn best friend. Hell, you're like my gay, scaly brother. It can't fuck with me like this. This is too real. I quickly shake my head, close my eyes. You're dealing with me right now, not the thing inside my head. And it's fucking becoming a rarer and rarer thing these days, so I'm just really trying to enjoy what time I've got. Just talk to me. I don't want to think. He trails off, staring down at his lap. Think about what? There it is. The change. The music seems to sound further and further away until it disappears entirely. Huh. Maybe you're right, Flynn. What the fuck are you talking about? The sick heat, left forgotten in conversation, began crawling up my back. Grabbing onto the table to help maintain my own posture, it's clear that something shifted. A little bit of light from Sydney's eyes, just gone. 2 bodies. What? 2 bodies, right? I remember now. Man, that shit fucking sucked, didn't it? Shifting uncomfortably, the topic had reversed into what he had previously denied. 2 bodies, Sid. You're fucking dead. I saw you. I looked you in the face, and I saw nothing. I gripped the edge of my seat, my gut feeling like it's twisting in and on itself. It's like I'm standing in front of a roaring fireplace, the smell of smoke and fresh ash licking my nostrils. Wow, the heat tickles my scales. Sydney's gone forever, and all that's left is this. Who are you? Feels different to me. A thing that isn't Sydney looks around. This is not the smoke room. It looks like it, but not to me. The otter continues to stare off to the side before seeming to realize I asked a question. Sam, I am. Was his name from basically that saying or joke? While he speaks, he points towards you, across the table with both hands. There's something metal in his grasp, long, and with a barbed end. I can't make out what it is exactly. I swallow and try to speak evenly. Who's Sam? A facsimile of a person that was. I'm dabbing myself with ink so I never dry, but it smudges. Ugh, assimilation. In here, I become we with you. Me? Pod Palace, no? I'm not sure I hear the first part correctly. At first, they came through the gates. Then, they came through the stars. There's a pause. Did they come for you? He looks at me, and I feel my legs begin to shake. I tremble, wishing I was anywhere but here. The others before, they bounce, undulating in constant, restless motion. The hollowed figure heaves, breathing heavily as he sways Sydney's body up and down. He stares at me with eyes that remind me of the fish Carl and I catch at the pond. But that's not what you want. You want the answers. After all, it's a bit late for love, and still too still for lust. I just fucking need to know what happened to Sydney, so that this hysteria stops, and that everyone else is safe again. Well, that could help. But are you sure you really want to know? You can chase the truth until you're red in the face. The thing looks over towards the smoke room door. What was once Sydney raised his arm to point at it with a natural, stuttery movement. It ebbs and flows like the tide. You can ride it. Each time the tide comes in, it's a little less of what it once was, abstracted. It goes where sorrow sprouts, and takes with it what it can before rolling back out. Some tides are particularly large. He waves a blurred paw at me, and again I see the metal ring grasped in his paw. He seems to see me looking at it and holds it in front of me. He burnt them all down to the ground until only the truth remains. He needed the superfluous kindling, for those are but the lies they tell others, and eventually themselves. You'd make a good detective if you weren't marinating in your own nepotistic squalor. Unlovable, shameful, a sin to all who initially cared for you. Truly only belonging amongst the sawdust, semen, and ash. Thoughts drowned out the mist of moaning and groaning of unfamiliar shadows. The only one who precisely knew you, who precisely loved you, ushered into the tide by those you thought fondly of, and justice denied again and again and again. He presses the bar tip of the rod into the table. There were 6, and now there's 5. The distorted otter is looking at the thing in his grasp as he says this. It's a fire poker. I hesitate to speak, my mouth feeling dry, and my forked tongue caught between my teeth. Yeah, I get it, but... well, what I just saw with Sydney, was that real? It could be, somewhere in here. It seems to be referring to the poker. I reach for it, but my hand can't quite touch the metal. It phases right through it. The hollow thing just stares at me, watching my futile attempt. Slowly, I rise to my feet, my legs gelatin-like, as I wobble some. I manage to steady myself with my tail, grasping the sticky table for support. This distorted otter just watches me, somehow looking almost eager. With no small amount of trepidation, I began approaching the smoke room door, the sound of crackling flames growing louder the closer I get. This has to be it. The alternative being doing nothing, which, while real damn appealing, probably wouldn't stop what's going on outside. If that somehow works, that is. Or, yeah. I grasp the handle. Fuck me. Many have. I stop, looking back over my shoulder. Really? The figure is leering closer now. Fuck you too. As I turn back to face the door, I swear I see the shape smile. I turn the knob and step inside. The air is absolutely electric, and I feel myself involuntarily shiver. I brace myself against the wood-sided walls, staring through the darkness. I've never seen this empty before, and I get the sensation in my gut that something terrible happened here. Looking back, I don't think the shape followed me. I'm still here. God damn it, leave me alone! I feel my blood chill, but I keep moving. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. This version of the smoke room is impossibly large. I keep walking through the darkness, expecting to reach an end, but it doesn't happen. It just keeps looping in on itself. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. I hear a sharp crack of a gunshot, followed by a low cry, someone wailing. It doesn't sound like it's coming from inside, but rather a reverberating noise outside, far away. The whole room begins to vibrate, as if activated. The rumbling is stronger on one side of the room. I walk in that direction. As I approach, I hear more wailing, more voices, and some sounding different and rather close. Flynn! Now there's huffing and painting, the sound of hooves, and soft feet upon stone floor. They're trying to catch up to me at the end of a large, cavernous hallway. The rebar from before. Jesus. I'm not in the smoke room. I'm in the mines. And it's very, very hot. I feel my whole body rumble, like shockwaves are bouncing my insides. Kinetic energy, electricity, like 1,000 subwoofers, are vibrating from the stone walls. We're here. The source. The seed. Dude! Stay back. Initially, it's like a cold shiver, an icy sensation that presses against my front, and washes over me like a tide. I recoil, but there's nowhere to withdraw back to. At first measure, a body is unable to discern the extreme cold from extreme heat, though that time soon passes and the burning feels too real. I can feel it seep in between the cracks of my scales and look at the vulnerable flesh beneath. I'm standing in fire, but I don't see it. I see nothing. I can't even tell where it's coming from. Wherever I go, the burning follows. The fabric of my clothes ripples, and the seams begin to snap away. Some of it falls off to the floor, while the rest clings to my body like new skin. Even the air I breathe burns, making my insides boil. This isn't my head. This is real. I'm burning. I flail into the darkness, running now. After a while, it feels like I'm practically gliding. I hear the sound and move toward it. Fucking help me! I utter, my voice raspy and light. Footsteps. There are several of them, and a bonfire. I see the silhouettes of people running, playing about just like me. Panic everywhere. A woman, Genevieve Sanders, the mail carrier, is standing above the fire. A gun in her hands. Salem's body is burning. And beside her is Auntie, face down, with a bloody hole in the back of her head. Ow. I pinch myself, trying to wake up. I pinch so hard, I feel the scale of my arm split in half, and blood that seems like it's boiling pools out from it. It quickly evaporates, and all that's left is a mark of reddish pink flesh beneath the scar tissue. I look up, and she's still standing there, mouth agape, like she's frozen, but her eyes follow me in real time. She sees me, but it's like she can't act. Why? Fucking why? I realize no answer coming from horrified visage. She's still holding the gun. She'll do it again. She'll do it again. We keep going. I lunge, and it's like she's made of sand, flesh dissolving away beneath my claws as I touch her. And then, it's like a rope wrapped around my waist yanks me back. The wind is like sandpaper against my burning head, and I fly through blurred shapes and silhouettes. What'd I do? Was that real? God, Auntie. Jeez, fuck. What's happening? Next thing you know, I'm in front of City Hall again. Oh, should we stop there? Sure. I'm just kind of looking through this stuff. Yeah, I guess we just keep going. Next thing I know, I'm in front of City Hall again, though everything's different. There's a crowd gathered around a large tree outside, with their clothes are all old-timey-like. Men suspenders, women in prod blouses are braiding. Their faces are furious blurs, polygonal masses of fur and teeth that seem to elude their emotion more strongly than their distant facial features. A Meseta Fennec stands upon a wooden stool with a noose wrapped around his neck, the priest next to him reading his last rites. The man so angry, so hurt, tears like waterfalls down his matted yellow cheeks. Someone hurls a piece of hardtack that hits him square in the jaw, but he doesn't react. The cries of the crowd, obscured, distorted, some about a child or children. There's a man at the edge of the crowd, a ram, the one the Fennec's staring at. He looks like Carl. The ram pivots on his hooves, turning to walk away, but stops when he sees me, his expression vacant. The Fennec shouts indiscernible hatred at the man, and just then the stool is kicked out from beneath him. As he sways, feet kicking, and dribbles of piss cascading down his overalls, it's as if the ground itself begins to bounce. It's something so palpable and awful that it's beyond words, that I can feel it within my mind more readily than the burning of my flesh. The stony faces of the mob seem completely unaware that their actions are feeding something far greater than they'll ever know. I'm sucked away again, and I feel my scales fall from my body like black and orange confetti. My thudding heartbeat is becoming increasingly irregular. I'm standing behind a shelf now. There's someone in a hoodie next to me, but he doesn't notice I'm here. He's got a camcorder. I think it's Salem? He's younger. A large bear, larger than me by several inches, steps out of what looks like a bathroom door. It's Brian, a meth dealer, who lives in a trailer on the outskirts of the old city limits. I see him at the smoke room sometimes. He deals there. Neither of them are looking in my direction. I soon see why. There's a Fennec on, looks like a rag nearby. One of his eyeballs is gone, but he's still alive. On the television behind Brian, a slideshow of grotesque images flashes by, one of the Fennec's missing eye on the smokeroom counter. It looks like the place was closed, so nobody could walk in and see what they're doing. In the real world, the Fennec's words are garbled and distorted, as if coming from an old VHS. He's feigning love for the bear, asking him to hold him tender-like, instead of whatever else he has planned. The Fennec's face becomes increasingly blurry. Isn't that Dandy? Casey? Keith? There were so many. They blurred together. Salem's grinning, the reflection of his camcorder screen leaving a stark glint in his eyes. I feel myself move out from behind the shelf, beyond my own will. There's a rumbling pull in my guts. I'm being pulled away any moment now. I don't think we'll be able to attack Brian. A scared body lunges, and the Fennec's head is crushed. The brain and all of the fears and pain contained within gone in an instant. They're real! I'm pulled away. I can just make out the astonished face of Brian. Though I kinda just want... What happens if we do the other thing? Brian sees me, his eyes going large like saucers. They're and all he can before my hands pass through his guts. The hairy flesh seems like it particularly disintegrates at my fingertips until I notice that it's all splattered on the wall beside me. Huh. Oh, so did we become the thing? As I'm pulled away, I can just make out the tusk smiling face of Salem. It's full of shock, but the smile remains, and so does the maimed Fennec. Oh, let's just roll back to our main thing. And pulled away, just make out the astonished face of Brian. He looks like he's in awe, a sense of knowing, underlying his fucked up features. Salem doesn't take his gaze off the camcorder screen. Though, I guess, yeah, we'll just go with the first knee-jerk reaction. I grasp into the void, the flesh blood mixing with my own fresh blood. My actions no longer feel entirely of my own volition. It's like something pulling in my skull. Like back at City Hall, when I condemned Chase. We make the justice we're given. I pop back in front of the familiar ram and salamander. Like it all happened. Like all that happened was just some horrible vision. My body feels the same. Like its gaping expressions of the duo show no sign of relief. Car! I can barely make any noise in my throat the way it is. I can practically feel my vocal cords snap away as I speak, letting me only exclude a guttural growl. I reach out to him, seeing the sinewy, red appendage my arm has become. The tunnel shakes around me. Carl and Dax both turn and flee, Salamander screaming his absolute lungs out. I'm terrifying to them. As they're about to round the corner, I see Carl hesitate. He looks back to me. I can't see his expression, and I can't call out to him. I have to let him know I'm still here, or in here. With some strained effort, I turn my wrist around and close, all but one of my fingers. The ram continues to stare as the rumbling increases. I'm pulled away once more. It goes on like this. At each stop, I lose more of myself, mentally and physically. Each visage that appears before me, something new, unspeakable evil I hadn't fathomed existing. From time to time, I let the thing inside my head take more and more control. Sometimes, I don't have the control in the first place, when the suffering's the strongest. Where Sam thrives, he drives. Like my body, I become numb. All but my vision and hearing are gone, and they're swiftly fading too. I keep closing my eyes, waiting for it to end, but it doesn't. I can't die. I hear the soft pitter of feet on a rocky embankment. Somewhere down the way, stones are being skipped. Clap. Someone threw a big one. Then, sniffing, followed by a low sob. Crying has become so familiar to me, I hear it more than anything else, it feels like. It's like singing, isn't it? Purest expression of emotion. Fuck you. But this one's more familiar. To me as well. I can just make out the audible sound of little pebbles rolling down the hill, followed by a heavy thud. I turn to see the faint gray silhouette with big blue eyes. What? The voice hits me like electricity. This is it. I'm what I saw that day, or what he saw that day, on the beach by the outlet. Finally. He screams, like they always scream. I have to follow him. I have to see it. I ascend beneath the waves, and I see excess fat drift from my body into the tidal currents. The water's abrasive, but I'm able to glide through it, swimming without swimming. Something pops, and suddenly I can't see from my left eye. There's white water ahead, thrashing movement. A bit of reddish pink mist dissolves in the current in front of me. No. I strain myself to hear, trying to keep absolutely still. But other than the faint, occasional splash, there's nothing. Eventually, the splashing stops, and I know my best friend is dead. I rest in the current, and the voice in my mind is fortuitously silent, not pressing me into movement or action. And, though my eyesight is gone, my skull, punctuated with nothing but empty sockets and orifices, I see something. Bright blue eyes and starry skin. It stacks, I'm sure of it. He does not move, though. I can read his intent in his eyes, that he very much wants to. Instead, he remains motionless as we stare at each other. I imagine speaking to him, telling him what's happening to me, or happened. My words are rambling, and mine's not what it used to be, but it doesn't seem to matter. He meets my gaze regardless. I ask him if Carl's alright, and, of course, he doesn't respond. I then simply state that I'm hoping he's okay, or he hopes he's okay. I go on and tell him about all the crap the Ram and I have been through, about how much I hope he fucking makes it out decently enough. I'm sure they'll give him another shot at the interview, on account of the town-wide madness. I tell him I hope it's over now, whatever he is, or wherever he is. And finally, I apologize for what an absolute ass I was to him, when he deserved goddamn none of my angsty bullshit. He never shows any indication of understanding, or even blinking. Most surprisingly of all, it feels as though hours pass, and the hysteria simply holds on, whisking me away. No rumbling, no fire, no screeches into sudden chaos. Just a slow, eventual feeling of drifting away somewhere else, somewhere dry. There's the telltale sign of hot water heater rumbling nearby. It's humming away. Someone must be taking a shower, or it's laundry day. I feel the vibrations more than I actually hear the thing. Then, a faint whimper. A sound is shifted, stifled, as if the upset individual is trying to hold back tears. It's high-pitched, feminine, a girl. Distortion is only slight. I bring my hand up and feel wooden slats, and when I push harder, the whole surface bends and folds outward. It's a closet door. The sniffling stops. Slowly, I hold up my hand and do a small wave, gentle movements, as I'm sure the distortion is making it look faster. It's quiet. All I can hear is the water heater in the girl's room. There's the shuffling of sheets, then small footsteps. Hi. Your voice is timid. There's another long pause. Are you real? I think for a moment. Then slowly, I shake my head. That's an ending. Because, like, man, the last video of this game, or minus the doing side plays. So if you remember, like, in TJ's route, Flynn takes TJ to the lake, and then we kill Flynn because, you know, he might have hurt TJ. In Leo's route, we're kidnapped and all that stuff, but then we got on the train, and if we pick It's Over Leo, then we go marry Kudzu later and sometime come back. But if we it would be hard to pick the thing. I guess I'll do that YouTube thing where you pick two things. I'm not sure. But then and if we pick with Leo, then we got our legs run over and he's like, absolutely, we're dead. And then Leo's Jenna's route is that we get, oh, and I guess spoilers in case you haven't watched all these and stuff or played the game. But Jenna's, it's we save the town from getting flooded unless we choose a different option. Carl's route is that he goes, oh, the only person that can help me is me. Also, the way to fix the thing is to say that, yeah, James Hendricks the First was an absolute terrible person and exonerating the Fennec. And then, oh, then I got Flynn's here. Was I missing anybody else? It is pretty a somber way to end this game, with it being like, yeah, we're just sitting on a beach one moment, and then we're talking with our dead friend, and then being this creature that is in all the roots. Even though Flynn survives it, but I guess it could be that one thing that, where it's like there could be different timelines. Stay a while. Huh. 5 years later. Oh, is this the other stuff? Seriously? It's gonna be such a good fucking time. You'll be glad you came. The big grizzly bear nudges the coyote playfully, almost knocking the canine into the passenger window. Ow! Keep your paws on the wheel, or your paw at least. Cameron's eyes are giant, half-eaten boiga in the bear's equally giant paw. Dev's other paw casually steers the wheel, elbow resting out through the open window. The bear looks happier than he's been in a while, somehow grinning as he chews. The coyote sighs and stares out the window, watching the desert landscape fly by. It's nothing like this in his hometown, and he found himself wishing he was back amongst the pine forests. Something he'd been wishing since he moved to Pueblo for school. Technically, it was his natural habitat, but he found the whole place depressing somehow. Empty and dry, and rough. What you pounding for? I'm not pounding. Yeah, you are. Cameron sighs, deciding to change the subject. So, why couldn't Larry go again? I don't know. Said something about his car breaking down. Thinks he just flaked though. Aren't there other haunted places in Pueblo that we could have gone to? Like, by the school? The bear shakes his head, letting go of the wheel to crumple up the foil that had packaged a sandwich and toss it in the back. Unlike Echo Dude, this place is the most haunted town in the entire fucking world. Cameron sighs once again, then suddenly gasps. His grasps his seats as the car swerves and turns hard into a smaller road leading towards the big blue lake. What the fuck? Whoop, sorry, I almost missed our turn. The driver continues, and eventually the map on the dash chimes, indicating they're reaching their destination. Why? Because a lot of shit happened here. The grizzly hops out of the car, making the entire thing shift sideways as he squeezes his bulk out before reaching back for the camera bag. He takes out a small, compact camcorder from his side and wraps it around his wrist. He flicks a switch, and Cameron sees a familiar red recording light flashing. He points the lens at the coyote, and he quickly covers his face, laying out a frustrated sigh. Yep, these are the characters that are gonna appear next week. At least for you. It's gonna be a hot minute since before I play this time segments episode, because you know I did like Flynn's roots in like what, a week or two. I'm not the whore you're after, Dev. With that, he unbuckles the sides and slides out of the car. The bear waits for him, reaching out a large padded paw. Cameron takes it and is immediately drawn into a tight embrace and a kiss. The coyote tenses up for a moment, then waits until Devin releases him. Can you not do that right after you eat a big greasy hamburger? Cameron makes a big show wiping his lips. Devin rolls his eyes. No pleasing you, is there? You didn't want to taste that boiga? Nevertheless, the grizzly holds out a paw again, and Cameron takes it, the two of them walking towards the town center. It's not a pleasant walk. Most of the infrastructure is pretty shoddy condition. Overgrown places, sagebrush, and dried vegetation. So where are we meeting this guy? I told you, the old civic building. Wait, you mean City Hall? Cameron recalls the late night rants with Devin over the phone. The bear regaling every last detail of the incident. Where they shot the mayor? Yep. The coyote released his paw from the large, clawed grip of his boyfriend, peering up at him slightly with wider eyes. Damn, you're actually sure he's okay with this? Yeah? Look, he's the one who did the report on the town after that happening in the first place. Are we talking about Chase? Devin tries to put on a reassuring smile. He seems keenly aware that folks sometimes find this large predator grin unnerving, but Cameron always told him it was cute. And he's gay, so, you know. I mean, that could be anyone in Echo. The bear rewraps his paw around Cameron's own. No need to be worried about that. Eventually, the two reach the old town center. Sure enough, there's a man standing in the gravel parking lot with his paws in his pockets. He doesn't appear to notice the two at first, and Devin takes the opportunity to film him from afar. The sun is behind him, so it casts his front in shadowed silhouette, giving him an eerie visage, which you might be able to use in the video. The civic building roof is fully collapsed. A faded gray tarp over the top of the walls is all that's protecting the interior. Like most of the structures they pass by on the way in, the lamented notice of condemned stamped with the county seal is posted on the front door. After about 15 seconds or so, it's fairly clear the older guy is aware of the two college kids' presence, and he casts his head in their direction. They quickly shuffle up, wearing sheepish smiles and already sweat-stained clothing. Chase? It's older Chase. You can tell because his goatee has grown into a beard. Yo. Hi. The bearded otter seems to be looking at their held paws, which they quickly unclasp and shake his own in turn. He offers them a short, melancholy smile. You two been here long? Or been together long? Oh, sorta. A coyote rubs the back of his neck. The bear wrapped an arm around his shoulder. Yep, a while. Must have been tough growing up in the sticks out here, for a gay guy, especially. Chase lets out a little amused grunt, reaching into his pocket and withdrawing a pack of cigarettes. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I did have a boyfriend growing up here for a while, so I frickin' lucked out there. If I recall, he was the one who helped you out during the incident, right? Leon? Leo. Right. He quickly nods, muttering something about how he should know that before adjusting the camera on his shoulder. How's he doing? I don't know. He doesn't really talk to me anymore. Oh, well, regardless. Must have been rough being the only gay kids out here growing up. Yeah, us and one other guy. He sniffs, looking off to the side. Y'all mind if I smoke? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, plenty fresh out here. I don't mind. The otter nods, sticking the cigarette between his lips and flicking his lighter. However, he doesn't bring the flame up. Instead, just holds out in front of him. The seconds passed, and slowly, he shifts the lighter in the direction of the old civic building. Cameron and Devin watch the otter expectantly. After everything he's been through, some oddball behavior is to be expected after all. So, I'm a big fan of your original ports you did. Hell, I did my own little video on what happened when I was first starting my channel. I know, you used a lot of my footage. Devin begins, looking a little nervous, laughing some to try and lighten the mood. I credited you, of course. I'm just some haunting vlogger. You're like a professional journalist and everything. Chase finally lights a cigarette. Was a professional journalist. I got pushed out of my reporting gig with KGUA like 2 years ago now. No one liked my stuff anymore. No matter what I did, it wasn't ever as good as that piece I finished in college. Devin blinks. I'm sorry to hear that. He pauses, thinking to himself for a moment. You know, those news media companies are all fascist shit factories anyway. Ooh, been accurate. Dev. Without all that big billionaire funding, they'd be going the way of the dinosaurs, regulated to sports and weather for senior citizens. Chase stares blankly up at the much larger bear, unsure of how to respond to that. Devin clears his throat. And, your social media profile said you were still... I haven't updated that in a while. Ah. Chase takes a long drag of a cigarette, stopping at the first speed bump. He seems to become increasingly aware of the uneasy stares of the two college kids in front of him. Sorry, it's been a difficult few years for me. Oh, we picked the worst route. Flynn is dead, and Chase is having a hard time. Should have done Leo's route last. Or Jenna's route's also good too. Carl's? That was okay. The statement from the otter makes sense, looking at him now. He's awfully haggard for somebody in his middle to late 20s, his facial scruff untrimmed, and the dye job looking less than stellar. Cameron couldn't help but think he'd be kind of cute if he cleaned himself up a bit. Or perhaps he just has a thing for sad eyes. Said sad eyes were fixated on the civic building now, Chase's lips thinning tightly around a cigarette, squeezing ash from the tip. The coyote steps up, placing a paw on the otter's shoulder. Hey, it's alright. We don't want to put any pressure on you. Right, Dev? Right. Devin sounds genuinely supportive. Chase can see why Devin might be so taken with him. It would be nice to have something like that again. And he finds himself relishing the paw on his shoulder. He didn't realize he was so touch-starved. Still, Chase can't help but avoid their reassuring gazes, the otter rubbing at the old spider bite mark on his neck. Let's begin, shall we? Wonder if he's gonna be in the next game. The trio begins to head northward, past the burnt-out newer buildings that went up in smoke during the hysteria. Devin finds an odd-looking globe, broken in the middle of the road. Cameron offers to carry it with him, but Devin seems rather adamant about not looting anything. Chase doesn't care to appear to care. Eventually they arrive on the outskirts of the nearby mine, warning signs posted damn near everywhere. It looks like barbed wire fencing has started being erected along the main entrance. Though Chase's motions to the county gave up on trying to fully enclose it a couple of months ago after folk kept cutting through it. So, there's more than one entrance to the mine here. They're barred off now. They're barred off now? They're all barred off now. I mean, the main entrance was locked up tight even before the crap show 5 years ago. Devin sets up his tripod, pointed toward the black void between the rocks. This is where they found the bodies? Chase shakes his head. That was off to the side entrance, in the A level. This is the main entrance. It goes all the way from A to F level. How deep is that? Depends. The deepest shaft goes down 1,900 feet. Jeez. Chase holds up his hand, gesturing behind him. It's been like half a century since the mine's been active, so rotten supports and the like most certainly have caved in most of it. Devin nods, a tight frown crossing the bear's broad muzzle. It's clear he gotten something on his mind. What about that one guy? The mayor's nephew. I've read reports and all, but what's your take on what happened? Good question. Just hesitates for a moment, not having expected the question, or at least hoping it wouldn't come up at all. The otter steps back, bringing his fingertips up to the bars of the mine. He touches them, and the cave wall that they're embedded in. He draws back and shows the two of his blackened fingertips. The cave is scorched. Well, the theory is there are flammable gases that are ignited in the lowest levels. It created this sustained burn that started billowing smoke up into the air for a couple of weeks after the whole happening. Yeah, I know that, but why did he walk inside while it was all like that? You were one of the last people to see him, after all. And those other two, they said they couldn't stop him after you left. Chase looks away, staring off into space. He says nothing, and soon Devin and Cameron are exchanging nervous glances with one another. Next thing you know, the otter's walking off without another word. Wait! Hold on! He swears under his breath, Cameron looking on with crossed arms as Chase heads up towards the car. Yeah, fuck. He's not gonna... Oh damn, he totally is. What the hell? Devin whines. Fuck, I was being insensitive, wasn't I? You never know when you strike a nerve with these kinds of things. These kinds of things? What do you mean? Devin quirks an curious brow towards the coyote, though, judging by the grimace reaction, Cam regrets bringing it up and doesn't speak further. They hear the sound of an engine starting in the distance. Devin sighs. Good thing we brought our Jeep instead of riding with him, eh? Fuck. Cameron frowns, reaching up and holding the big guy's arm. Hey, don't worry. I'll get the camera. Exploring on our own could be pretty cool, right? The bear's nostrils flare, and a heavy exhale. Yeah, I'll pull the Jeep around. Cameron gives Devin a thumbs up before moving to grab the camera. As he's about to close the viewfinder display, he notices a green square appear in the center of the frame. He leans down to look more closely, pressing the display adjust button. Face detection disabled. The square vanishes. Huh? He hits the button again. The square returns. That's weird. He flicks the switch on the side to auto, while auto white balance the image. The whole screen flashes as the lens adjusts, and as it comes to focus. Fuck! A lizard stands in the darkness behind the bars. But he can't stare. Not really, because his eyes are gone. Half his muzzle's missing. Cameron jumps back, tipping over the rocks and landing against the sharp edges. The coyote hisses in pain, but the fear spurs him on, trying to scramble up the rocks after Devin. The bear already turned around though, reaching down to pull Cameron up. Shit! Are you alright? What happened? Cameron clings to the larger bear. He looks back, but nothing's there. I don't know. I saw... Devin looks in the same direction, squinting. Cameron stares a while longer, then turns back and shakes his head against Devin's chest. When Cameron looks up at the bear, he's grinning though. Holy shit! Did you see a ghost? The coyote scowls. What? No! I just thought I saw something. It was probably the camera glitching out. The bear gives a knowing smile. What? You're gonna be a believer by the end of all this. I know it. The grizzly hugs him tightly as Cameron frowns, still looking back at the cavern entrance. It had been so real. But before he can really collect himself, Devin is pulling him and the camera along to the Jeep. I'm not sure if they have just like something different there, or if that could be dust on the screen. Probably dust. But boy, a nice and long episode of this. It's been a journey. A multi-day long journey. Or, not multi-day, well, I guess multi-day long journey for Flynn's routes, but like an entire journey for the other routes. Have we unlocked all these things? I mean, I guess you can't really tell unless you, like, highlight them all. We don't got Backstage 3! Oh, I guess that would be if we were like, yeah, let's, bang with Flynn. I guess the only other things I'm gonna do before I completely wrap this game up is that I might do the other routes. Not the other routes. That I do, let's see, Jenna's and Carl's other endings, but just read it passively, not actively, because, woof. So, it's gonna be the end of this Let's Play and series, because we have something else to do next week for you. For me, it's gonna be a bit longer than that. Let me see, where is it here? Because I have to turn it off there before I do other stuff. Because, let's see. Where do it be? Arches. Like Arches National Park. I've been there before. It rained a lot. Like every day. Is this... Did I download the most updated version of this game? I don't know. That'll be for next week. Well, yeah, I need to download the newer one. Yeah, Arches. A game about, well, what you just saw. And hold the phone. These guys... Do people in this universe not wear shoes? I guess they don't. Like... Even if you had thick pads, I wouldn't want to not have shoes on. In case you, like, I don't know, stepped into the smoke room. You know? Yeah. End of this Let's Play and series. So, please comment, because, like, comment, simply dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow. And please remember to spay and renew your animals to help control the pet population. How far is this in the future for me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 43 weeks into the future. I do these ahead of time. Like, for this one I was like, I got 18 weeks in the future, and it's like, I want to do an entire read of this. But I guess for me, let's see, the next thing I gotta do is... Sex and the Furry Titty. I mean, that stuff I could just do whenever. Because, you know, it's not a lot of reading, it's just bejeweled. But what's an actual visual novel I need to do more of? Tavern of Spear's pretty low. I mean, not pretty low. Ooh, Lush Sharks needs some love. Yeah, because we did... Devin's right? The big nice guy. And then, I think I need to turn the audio down for this. Oh yeah, because it's max. And then did the horse guy's route, but then there's another route stuck in there. Yeah, you know. Anyways, end of this series. And until... Oh yeah, and if you want to play either of these games, they're both available free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that made these games, I think this one's finished, then you can go to their Patreons, where it's $3 a month. Anyways, until next time, another Let's Play, me, GamerWolfSix, of this game. So thanks and see ya.